G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing my tip for the grand final for season 2023. We got here at long last, although it does feel like we got here relatively quickly as well in saying all that. Let's have a little bit of a look at the ladder. We've got Shannon up at the top of the table. I don't think you can lose from here. 152 to 150. I think some magical maths is going to have to go wrong there for Shannon to be knocked off the top. So I reckon we can almost announce the winner before grand final, but we'll have a bit of a look through the numbers next week, see where it all lands. I'm sitting at 6 on the table. Went the all or nothing with the Giants, and it was an okay tip, but they lost by a point. So yeah, you win some, you lose some. They had field position in the last quarter. They sort of wasted it a little bit. Yeah, a lot of pressure on it, and yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it? Lose by a point the year before, win by a point the year after. So definitely learned some lessons, and credit to the Pies and Brisbane who have made it through, and credit to Shannon for staying at the top of the table for a good portion of the second half of the season. So that brings us to the biggest day of them all. What we play football for, why we barrack like crazy members for our teams to try and get to this gracious last Saturday in September. And yeah, it's come down to these two teams. Collingwood and Brisbane will fight it out for the grand final, 2:30 MCG. It's going to be a Herculean match, and it's going to be an unbelievable matchup as well. So yeah, it's not often 1 and 2 up against each other. I think the last time was 2014 when that happened. So yeah, it doesn't happen too often, and I think second usually wins more often than not. I think the last time first won against second was 2007 when Geelong defeated Port Adelaide by 119 points. So that's a good memory if you're a Cats fan like myself. So yeah, the Pies will have their work cut out. It's going to be an enthralling contest. No Adams, no Noble, which is not good for the Pies. And obviously McStay is out as well, and potentially no Jackson Payne. I'm not 100% sure where that has all landed. I'd suspect he's unlikely, irrespective of all of that. So yeah, some big decisions to be made there. And yeah, it's going to be an enthralling contest. We know both sides defensively are quite well equipped to be able to ensure the opposition doesn't get everything their way. And we know when Brisbane get on top in that clearance game, they're quite deadly when they get field position and they're able to have a potent forward line. It's just a matter of if they get the right supply without too much pressure, they're looking pretty good. And I think their record speaks for itself. I'm pretty sure they've won 5 or the last 6 against the Pies. So, their record speaks volumes, but unfortunately that means absolutely nothing going into this game. Whilst Brisbane may feel confident on that previous record, they did win early in the year. Late this season, around 23. So yes, a little bit earlier in the year. Collingwood did have a few key outs, though. They had no Dacos and to go, which are pretty, probably two players that would be in the top 10, top 15 in the competition, you would have thought. So they'll be clearly in, and I don't think they played at the MCG too much either. So yeah, we can see a lot of the games at the Gabba there, and that one was at Marvel and Collingwood in 2021. To be completely frank, we're pretty ordinary. I'm pretty sure they finished 17th or something like that. So they weren't too much top then, and that was Brisbane winning after the siren. So whilst there's a few wins at the Gabba in there as well, they did win early in the year at the Gabba when they were electric. But the Pies still had 28 scoring shots, more scoring shots than the Lions did. Didn't take their chances. Pressure was good for the Lions. But yeah, I mean, the Lions' MCG record's been talked about a fair length, and I think that's relatively been put to bed with their performance over Melbourne. Whilst they didn't get the points, it wasn't really much about the MCG, more around how they finished the game, and they probably went defensive too early. So that was more of a system and a coaching, I suppose, piece to try and ice the game, but it didn't work. Unfortunately for them, they fell victim to the D's who got over the top. But their football stacks up very well. We know the Pies, their back half game is terrific and is going to cause Brisbane a lot of challenges, and they're going to have to be on their game, in the forward line perspective, ensuring that, Collingwood just don't just walk it out with the red carpet there as well. And it's going to be a big midfield battle. We know that both forward lines have a lot of questions asked of them, and it's going to be very tough. These are going to be two of the most heralded teams on the defensive note, and that's clearly articulated with their percentage. You can see up the top there, I think Melbourne probably the next best at 125. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense where you have teams in that are really well equipped to score as well as defend, and we've seen these sides flourish in that standpoint. So yeah, I'm still not really sure on this one. I will tip the Pies, and it's ironic because I've tipped against them the whole final series, just thinking, look, Melbourne got them last time, and they're, Collingwood aren't travelling that well, and then the Giants had been pretty well going all right. Then I thought, you just never know. I kind of went a bit of desperate to get an extra tip, a bit of an upset. Didn't work out. Pies at the G was too good. I reckon they'll get the job done, but this is genuinely a flip of the coin sort of game, because I know Brisbane up forward, that they've got so many weapons and they have been able to find it down there. And even if things haven't been going that well, they've held up defensively. 22 inside 50s conceded last week against the Blues, and they conceded just 5 goals, which, I mean, doesn't sound like they saved a lot, all considering that, but yeah, their defence was enormous under the most pressure, and Carlton probably didn't really move the ball inside 50 that well. They blasted it long and high a little bit. But, the Pies just find a way to win, and they've won in patches, really. They found a way to win. I mean, if they kick 53 or 60, they're not going to beat Brisbane, which have been the winning scores there. But Collingwood, to me, are a bit like Parkinson's Law. They do enough with a lot of time to ensure that the task is completed in a positive manner for them. And it's not a coincidence they win a lot of close games, and we expect this one to be a close game. They know what they need to do. If they need to shut the game down, they do that. If they're struggling to score, then they turn into a scoring mode. If they're 3 goals down, they have they just switch mode. They just play completely different. They played more aggressive, and they get back into the game and ensure they don't get 4 or 5 goals down. The amount of times, and I've been monitoring this very close this year. This is my watch list for from my side of the fence. I'll do my David King, Joey Montagna impression here. But the moment Collingwood get 3 goals down is the moment they flick a switch. It's innate, it's coached, and it's very well executed on. So be on the watch for that one on the weekend, guys. A little nugget there. The amount of times I've seen Pies, I think even the Cats have been up 3 or 4 times, up by 18 points against them this year, and they've just pegged their way back, and they find a way, the Pies. So yeah, I think Collingwood home ground. The crowd's going to be big Magpie army, no doubt about it. I think they're definitely going to have their challenges, no doubt about it. But I think they'll be a little bit too strong at home to take home the 2023 premiership. They've been the best side all year, but Dennis Pagan says it is not the best team for the year. It's the best team on the day. So it's going to be which side executes the best and which teams are able to sort of settle in quicker than the other almost. So, and withstand all the pressure that comes with the great day. So it's going to be either one of the greatest days of their lives, one of these sides. Unfortunately, a loser has to go home, and it's one of their worst days going around. So very exciting to see. Hope you enjoyed all of my picks for this season, and that is my pick for the grand final. I've gone the Pies after tipping against them this whole final series. Hopefully I don't come back to haunt them there, but we'll see what happens on Saturday. Should be a ripper clash. Guys, comment your grand final tips below. Chuck in a margin as well. North Smith medalist. I haven't really thought about it. I might go Jordan DeGoey or something like that. I imagine DeGoey, Dacos, maybe Andrews if the Lions win. But yeah, that's where I've landed. I'll submit that one in. Pies by 8 points. There we go. That is all she wrote. So, guys, appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe away, all that amazing stuff. Keep checking in for more content, and I'll catch you all on the next video.